Everything you see will be gone.
So the Lord talks about like so many different things of what you need to do in order to get into heaven, right? It talks about how you need to follow his commandments if you love him. It talks about how you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It talks about how you constantly have to be merciful in serving others. Honestly, until the day you die, because death, dying, is gain, right? And yet, we never talk about what we will do in heaven, right? We never talk about we're gonna lose all of this and go to a new place. Is it truly worth it? So, I have to ask you, what do you think heaven is to you? Isaiah 53:6. We all went astray like sheep. All have turned to our own way, and the Lord has punished him for the iniquity of us all.
We have to be careful with sexual immorality and adultery. It's because people don't feel desired, so they go outside of marriage to go seek it somewhere else. And when they realize that this feeling of desire was actually just a facade, it was fake, then they wish that they had never done it in the first place.
But why is that the case?
When God says he has taken away all the iniquities away, that means he took away anything, if not everything, that is imperfect and evil. So that means we won't have anything evil in heaven. So what makes you think the things that you do that are evil are going to be in heaven? So nice out. Perfect in every way. He's perfectly just, loving, and good. And he wants us to be with him forever, and we shall if we accept him. And we call that paradise. So we won't have any type of suffering or evil. What makes us feel like we need that in order to live in the first place? And I think I know why. I think the reason why we feel like we're so needed, so desperate for the things that make us human, is because we were born that way. We can't comprehend anything else. But in naturality, our relationship with God isn't anything physical. It's spiritual. Nothing physical can fulfill us because everything physical dies. That's why he calls sin death. Not just because it's evil, but it's because anything that is evil cannot last forever. That's how Jesus took the sting of death. That's why he can give up his flesh, but never his life, never his ghost, never his spirit. That's how Jesus was able to exist in all times, because he was a spirit. And so I want to say this and foremost, your life isn't yours. It's not, however you look at it. If you don't believe in God, your life was created by the earth. If you do believe in God, it belongs to him. And so the purpose isn't the one that you created for yourself. Your purpose is far greater than that. And if you don't believe in God, your purpose doesn't have, that's gonna be mean. Should I add that? Has no significance. Yep. But what does it mean to have purpose? But what does it mean to love God in spirit? What does it mean to love God for all eternity? It means to have peace. It means to have love. It means to no longer have suffering or doubts of anything in this world. You know, a lot of people just think heaven is just going to be with him, but the paradise is having a new earth, having a new heaven, having an eternal relationship with him. That's the difference. And so you can put your life on that. You have faith in all that, because God is already transforming you already. So don't be afraid. Understand that he loves you beautifully and he made you perfectly. And so anything that you're going through is only going to make you stronger. But just because the sufferings that you have throughout this world doesn't mean those are defined. Just because you might have been abused or you might have been hurt, or the attachments that helped you grow doesn't make you who you are. You don't need these things. Why you think they don't last forever in the first place? Why is certain things that you loved you slowly grew apart from? Because those can't fulfill you. That's what I mean by it's in the flesh. Why you think all of this decays? But if you believe in God, God will fulfill those things. He made us in his image, which means the things that are pure that we like, he likes too. You don't think he's gonna have that in heaven? But what if I desire the things of the world more than God? What if I can't get away from it? And honestly, that is okay. You see that boat over there? The boat is part of the water. Is the boat the water? No. Does the water need the boat? No. What does that mean, Kobe Bryant? That means you can enjoy something while not having the full thing. Yeah, the boat might be fun, but why is the boat fun? Because of the water. Because of the water. God created everything perfectly, but sin, mankind, corrupted it. But that doesn't change the thing's inherent goodness. If God can create everything that made you happy, why you don't think he can do it again in paradise, in heaven, on a whole new earth? You see how like that water, it has so many tracks and bumps and things blocking its way, and yet it still ultimately leads to the destination, right? God will give us trials to humble us, to make us stronger, but it doesn't change what we are. But as we go further down, we get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and then boom, we get rid of all the dirty stuff and become the new thing that God wants us to be.
Okay, but my argument is that nothing can truly last forever and still be enjoyed. Time is everlasting.
No, God is everlasting. That's the difference. God was before time. A lot of people can't comprehend of how can God exist before time? Who created God? Well, that's kind of the point, right? God is the time. God created the time. He's boundless. And so when we live for eternity, no longer are we bound for time. We just exist eternally. Think about that. That can't be comprehended because God is beyond time. So, why should we? So don't be worrying about you potentially messing up or potentially not loving the thing that you've been enjoying, because you won't. Because just like your life, your enjoyment for things will also be everlasting. How you think God is perfectly loving and just? Because he's constantly loving and just. That doesn't stop. That doesn't change. That's the difference. Think about your dream job, right? Would you be upset that you had your dream job forever? No. So think about it like that. Like how I would love to play basketball for eternity, right? Even if that job wasn't necessary, right? And I had to do it for free. Honestly, for me, I would be doing it anyway. And maybe some people think playing basketball is a sin, right? But God created everything. I've said it multiple times, right? Which means everything was inherently perfect and made beautifully. But the disobedience, which is our free choice, is why it was corrupted. But God allowed us to corrupt it, and so we can see the differences between good and evil, and so we can ultimately choose good. And so the things that are beautiful will stay beautiful in heaven, because God will recreate everything with the understanding of what choice we wanted to make. Look at everything here. And to think God will make something even more beautiful than this. God bless you, man. Peace. Deuteronomy 6:7. Repeat them to your children. Talk about them when you sit in your house, and when you walk alongside the road, when you lie down, when you get up.
Why am I doing that to y'all?